Hey guys, do you know about the story of Gianna Beretta Molla and how she became saints? If not, let me tell you the story, guys. And let's proceed. Let's proceed. Saint Gianna Beretta Molla. She is an Italian pediatrician and laywoman. She was born on October 8, 1922 at Magenta, Kingdom of Italy. Unfortunately, she died on April 28, 1962 at the age of 39 at Monza, Italy. Her husband named Pietro Molla. She also have four children. The first one is Gianna Emanuela Molla. The second is Pierluigi Molla. The third is Maria Zita Molla. And the, and the last one is Laura Molla. She got her education at the University of Pavia, venerated in Roman Catholic Church. She beatified on April 24, 1994 at St. Peter Squares at Vatican City by Pope John Paul II. The beatification process was opened under Pope John Paul II on March 15, 1980, and Mola became titled as a servant of God. Carlo Maria Martini presided over the original process of investigation from June 30, 1980 until March 21, 1986, at which stage all documents were sent to Rome for inspection. And Mola became titled as Venerable on July 6, 1991, after John Paul II confirmed that she had lived a model Christian life of heroic virtue. Mola's beatification depended upon a miracle, often a healing that science and medicine cannot be explained. Medical experts approved this miracle on March 5, 1992 as being one in which there was no possible explanation for it, while theologians approved on May 22, 1992 the fact that the healing came after appealing for Mola's intercession. John Paul II issued his approval to his healing on December 21, 1982, but a second miracle was needed for her to be elevated to sainthood. John Paul II granted the final approval needed for this on December 20, 2003, which confirmed that Molla was to be named as a saint. The formalization of this confirmation, in which a date was announced, came at an ordinary consistory held on 19 February 2004. Molla was proclaimed as a saint of the Roman Catholic Church in St. Peter's Square on May 16, 2004 by Pope John Paul II. Molla's husband and their children were present at the canonization. It was the first time that a husband had ever witnessed his wife's canonization. Her major shrine is at Macero City, Lombardia, Italy. The miracle that led to her beatification involved the Protestant woman Lucia Silvia Cirillo, who gave birth to her fourth child, stillborn on October 22, 1977. Cirillo was suffering from severe pains. The doctors found an unseen complication that caused a rectal vaginal fistula. She was told to move to the hospital at Sao Luis, but she knew that she couldn't survive the trip there. One of the nurses, Sister Bernardina de Manayos, appealed for the intercession of Molla while looking at a small picture of her, and because of that, Cyril's pain had disappeared and had healed in full. The miracle that led to her canonization involved Elizabeth Camparini, who was 16 weeks pregnant in 2002 from Franca in Brazil. and sustained a tear in her placenta that drained her womb of all amniotic fluid. And so that her feast is on April 22, and one of her siblings was the servant of God, Enrico Beretta, on August 28 and 16 to August 10, 2001. And way back 1942, she began her studies in medicine in Milan. Outside of her schooling, she was active in the Asian Cattolica movement. Beretta later, she received a medical diploma in November 30, 1949 from the Pavia College and opened an office in Lucero, close to her hometown, where she specialized in pediatrics in 1950. Beretta hoped to join her brother. Her brother is a priest in the Brazilian missions, where she intended to offer gynecological services to poor women. However, her chronic ill health made this an impractical dream, but was content with continuing her practice. From July 7, 1952, she began to specialize in pediatrics at the Milanese College. In December 1954, she met her husband, Pietro Molla, an engineer, and the two became engaged from the following April 11. And one of her legacies is Molla's example was hailed as courageous, and her tale spread after her death. Pope Paul VI hailed her protection and love of life. In his Angelus address on September 23, 1973, Gianna Beretta Molla is the inspiration behind the Gianna Center in New York. It is the first pro-life and Catholic healthcare center for women in New York. In September 2015, her daughter, Dr. Gianna Emanuela Molla, read a letter before the Pope Francis during the 2015 World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia. The letter, which her mother wrote to her father not long before their marriage, highlighted the Christian virtues of marriage and called him and herself as a couple to serve God in a saintly way, to what she called the sacrament of love. Ah, what a touchy story. And then guys, that's it. Thank you. See you next time.